Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Aqueduct Racetrack here on Saturday. It is the 4th of December 2021. It's Cigar Mile Day, and we're going to look at all the stakes races on the program. But before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and I mean it around the world. Some great stakes races, all conveniently packed in a late pick 4. So let's get to it right now. Races 7 through 10. The 7th race, it is the Go For Wand Handicap. It's a grade 3 event going for a purse of $250,000. Race for fillies, mares, 3-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 7 horses going 1,600 meters or a mile on the Aqueduct main track. I'm going to take the 2-horse Lady Rocket as a top selection. We'll go 2-6-3-7 in the superfecta. 2-6-3-7 super. Top selection 2-horse Lady Rocket. 4-year-old filly by Tail the Cat. Brad Cox trains. Ira Ortiz Jr. gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came 31st of October at Belmont. 7 furlongs on the slop and the pumpkin pie, and the horse won by a head. And he was on the front end basically almost all throughout, dueling that day. He held on to the victory, earning a 94 buyer. That was a very good race. Not the flashiest victories for her, but she got the job done against tougher competition. Coming here today, not the world's toughest race, going to a mile trip. I think the speed could really hold up to run a good race here today. 2 back, the horse ran the Gallant Bloom Handicap at Belmont, 6.5 furlongs, 26 September, and she finished second by 3.5 lengths there. And she just kind of stalked after a horrible beginning. Words can't even explain that beginning. Just go watch it, because she just basically almost fell out of the gate. Recovered well, a little bit wide, but after the break, she was kind of behind the 8 ball. But she ran an okay race there, but she could run a little bit better. If she broke better. And then prior to then, the Pink Ribbon at Charlestown, 7 furlongs, 27th of August. She won by 1 3/4 lengths on the front and all throughout. She had the pace to win that day, even with Laurent Giroux, losing the whip there. But still a very nice race for her there. And then prior to that, 23rd of May, she ran at Churchill, 7 furlongs off 6-2, winning by a head. Coming from nowhere after not the best beginnings, she still won quite nicely. I like her a lot. She's going to have to break today, but she could really run a good race going to the 1-turn mile. At 85, let's use her. Don't throw out the 6-horse Truth Hurts either for Chad Summers. In the opposite leg of the pumpkin pie, there were 2 divisions this year. She won the other leg, winning by 2 lengths, coming from nowhere. She's another horse. She's not going to be on the lead, but she'll be coming from a little bit behind. It wouldn't surprise me if she gets a good trip to win. So we'll definitely use her in the late pick 4. But to recount my selection for the 7th, it's to Go For Wand Handicap. Let's take the 2-horse here, who is Lady Rocket. Give kudos to the 6-horse Truth Hurts, 2-6-3-7 super, 2-6 in your multi-race. The 8th race from Aqueduct, it is Remsen Stakes. It's a grade 2 event going for a purse of $250,000. Race for 2-year-olds here. We have a field of 8 horses going 1,800 meters or 1 lap around the Aqueduct main track, which is 1 mile and 1/8 in circumference. My top selection here, we're going to go take the number 3 horse Judge Davis. We're going to go 3-7-1-4 in the superfecta, 3-7-1-4 super. Top selection of 3 horse Judge Davis, 2-year-old colt by Distorted Humor. Shug McGahee trains. Jose Ortiz gets the mount. Blinkers on today, which I think is going to be the key for this horse. Most recently, they ran the horse in the Nashua at Belmont, 1 mile on the 7th of November, and he finished 3rd by 5.5 lengths. Nobody was catching Rockfellow that day, who kind of freaked on the front end. This horse just kind of stalked and just really couldn't keep up late. I do think his better trip will be around 2 turns. Coming to a 2-turn today, with blinkers on, more forwardly paced and more concentrated, I think he could really run a good race. 2 back, ran 24th of September at Belmont on the mud, a mile 16th in main special weight, 90,000, winning by 3/4 in length. He was geared up that day, a little bit wide, but when he got the lead, he kept going. Very good race in his sophomore appearance. And then the freshman appearance on the 21st of August, Saratoga. 6.5 in a main special weight for 100K. He finished 4th by 6.5 lengths there. He didn't break that well, and he was a little bit wide, and he was just kind of behind the 8 ball all throughout the race. But he's really been improving a lot, getting blinkers on today, going to the mile and 8, which I think he really likes. At 5-1, I'm going to take him here. Don't throw out the 7-horse either, Zandon. This 2-year-old colt by upstart Chad Brown trains. Joel Rosario gets the mouth. He's only started once. That came at Belmont on the 9th of October, going 3/4 mile in the main special weight, but winning by 1.5 lengths. He won for fun, even after not breaking so well. Going to a long trip he's bred for, and they must think highly of the horse, because he's really, his workout patterns have really been geared up lately. 5-2, give him a shot also in his second start, first time facing winners. But to recount my selection for the Remsen, the 8th race from Aqueduct, let's take the 3-horse Judge Davis. Give kudos to the 7-horse Zendon. 3-7-1-4 in the superfecta, 3-7 in your multi-race. The 9th race, it is the Demoiselle Stakes. It's a grade 2 event going for a purse of $250,000. Races for fillies, 2-year-olds here. We have a field of 8 horses, again going 1 lap around the Aqueduct main track, which is 1,800 meters in circumference, or a mile and 1/8 on the Aqueduct main track. I'm going to take as a top selection here the 5-horse Nest. I'm going to go 5-6-3-7 in the superfecta. 5-6-3-7 super. Top selection of 5-horse Nest. This 2-year-old filly by Curlin. Top Fletcher trains. Aristides Jr. gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came 5th of November at Aqueduct, 1 mile in the Tempted, and the horse finished 3rd by 3/4 length that day, and she just never really showed up. I didn't think Dylan gave her the world's best ride. I thought she was a little bit too far out of it early on. She closed up a little bit late, but it wasn't anything spectacular. Getting I ride back up, hopefully being forwardly placed, getting to a mile length, which I think the horse really wants. I think she has a very bright future ahead of her. I watched her debut at Belmont on the 25th of September, mile 16th, main special weight 83,000, and she won by 5 that day. She stalked, she got the lead, and then she kept going, a little drifting late, but that's because she was out in front and had a little true antics. But there was nothing bad about that race. She looks like, with the pedigree here with Curlin and the AP India on the dam side, this horse looks like she could be your Alabama winner next season and coaching club winner and Kentucky Oaks winner. That's how highly I think of her. She's really training well. Like I said, she's a great pedigree. I think she wants to go in the mile in the 8th here today, and I think today at 2-1, she's really going to run a good race. And she's a horse. Just keep an eye out for next season, because like I said, I love the pedigree on her, and I think the longer they go, the better she's going to get. Let's use her here. Also, you have to use the 6-horse. I think also the 6-horse Tap of Faith, 2-year-old filly by Tap at Christophe Clement trains. Joel Rosario was supposed to ride this one, but I believe he fractured a rib, so he will be out the next few weekends. So we'll have a rider to be announced soon. But they only bought this horse for $1.25 million, so they do think highly of this one. Most recently, they ran the horse at Belmont on closing weekend, a mile in the main special weight for $90K, and he won by a head. And closing up from nowhere, the horse really ran a good race. Another horse, I would like to see her sit a little bit closer, but she could definitely win at 3-1. Let's use her. Keep in mind, last year's Demoiselle did produce your breeders, your Kentucky Oaks winner mount that. So it's a good race here. Last season, and hopefully it goes on to this season, to next season. But to recount my selection for the 9th from Aqueduct, it is the Demoiselle. Let's take the 5-horse Nest. Give kudos to the 6-horse. Tap the Faith, 5-6-3-7 super, 5-6 in your multi-race. Now the 10th race from Aqueduct, the final Grade 1 of the season here in New York. It is the Cigar Mile. It's a Grade 1 event going for a purse $750,000, race for 3-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 8 horses entered to go the 1-turn 1,600 meter or a mile on the Aqueduct main track. I'm going to take the 4-horse Code of Honor as a top selection. We'll go 4-3-5-1 in the superfecta, 4-3-5-1 super, top selection of 4-horse Code of Honor, 5-year-old horse by Noble Mission. Shug McGahee trains. Tyler Gaffleon gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came the Grade 2 Fayette at Keeneland on the slop. Mile 8th on 30th of October. He finished second by 7 1/4 lengths. Independence Hall freaked that day. And I do think Independence Hall is getting a little bit overrated in this spot today. But he freaked that day on the slop at Keeneland. This horse just kind of plodded along and couldn't keep up. Do think a mile 8th a little bit too long. Cutting back to a mile today, which I think he really wants to go. Doesn't need the lead. He's going to see a lot of pace in this one. I think he could slowly move his way up and run a good race here today. Two back ran a mile and 1/8 here at Belmont. In the Woodward, 2nd of October, he finished 4th by 5 lengths there, and he just never got going from the inside, from the outside. Just wasn't his day to win. And then they ran him in the Iceland at Monmouth, mile 16th, 21st of August. A race, I believe the Iceland, or the Phillip Island, years ago used to be a Grade 1 at Monmouth. It's only a Grade 3 now, but he won by 2 1/4 lengths. He's facing lesser quality horses, but he still got the job done in hand. First start off the long refreshing. Prior to that, they ran him in the Pegasus, where he finished 5th by 10 lengths. He had a very horrible poster, which cost him. But then he ran a massive second place finish before then, the Clark, and a good second place finish in the Kelso before that. And then he won the Westchester earlier on in 2020. He actually won the Travers a few years ago out of a mile and a quarter, closing up for nowhere. But I do like him cutting back to a mile here today. At 6-1, let's use him. The 3-horse American Revolution. I think he's another horse like Nest. He's a horse you want to keep an eye on going into the 4-year-old campaign. He won the Empire Classic very, very easily last time out at Belmont on the slop, and I thought his 3rd place finish in the Pennsylvania Derby wasn't half bad. He's proven, against Statebreds, he's been destroying the horses. Coming here today against Grade 1 quality horses, I think he's another horse. Keep an eye on it. 5-2 could definitely run a good race. So to recount my selection for the 10th from Aqueduct, it is the Grade 1 $750,000 Cigar Mile. Let's take the 4-horse Code of Honor's top selection. Give kudos to the 3-horse American Revolution. 4-3-5-1 super. 4-3 to end off this pick 4. So good luck to all. Please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everybody.